Hello everyone, let's have more news about the Miami Heat, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Now let's go to another video, don't forget to leave a like. Jordan Walsh was in the midst of his best game of Summer League Monday night against the Heat before it came to an abrupt halt in a 196 Celtics loss at Cox Pavilion. The forward was ejected with 3:34 left in the second quarter after receiving his second technical foul following a hard foul on Miami's Pelle Larsson. Walsh had picked up his first technical foul of the night just 7 seconds earlier after exchanging words with Heat guard Eric Stevenson following hitting a layup. The third-year forward brought some of that fire into the subsequent sequence with Larsson that ended with the shove. However, Walsh's inability to cool off after making the initial foul led to an oversight. "It was a dumb decision," Walsh said. "I low-key forgot I got the first tech. I also remembered that don't nobody really hit anybody in the NBA, so I really didn't have no reason to attack him, but I thought that it was dumb. It was a rookie mistake, immature for me to do it, can't let it happen again." The entire sequence highlighted a chippy game for both sides, but ended what had been a promising outing for Walsh. He had led all scorers with 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the field over just 10 minutes before his early exit that occurred right in front of the Celtics Brain Trust courtside. Walsh said he apologized to Brad Stevens after the game for his miscue, but also wanted to send a message with his physicality in the sequence. "For one, I don't really like to get pushed around," Walsh said. "I feel like this whole summer league I've been getting hit and people have been doing all type of stuff to me. I was kind of letting it slide, but at the same time, I should have known better than to take it to that next level. I knew better than that, but for sure I don't want to be no pushover. I don't want to let somebody roll over for me." Walsh and the Celtics will get a 2 days off now before a chance at redemption when they face off against the Lakers on Thursday night at Thomas & Mack Arena. It has been a mixed bag for Jakucionis thus far in the NBA Summer League. One night the Illini star looks terrible, the next night he is the future starter for the Miami Heat. It is a roller coaster right now as he figures out the speed and complexities of the NBA game. Having a good support system is key to a young player's development too. The Heat really don't have much in the way of experienced point guard play to help Jakucionis along. He doesn't have a ton of guidance when it comes to the position. Help could be on the way. The NBA offseason has been filled with two main headlines. One is the drafting of Cooper Flagg. He is already shut down in the NBA Summer League as he is a man playing against boys. The second storyline has been the future of LeBron James. LeBron just finished up season number 22 of his career. That isn't a typo. At the age of 40 and knocking on 41's door, LeBron still managed to play in 70 games while averaging 24.4 points, 8.2 assists, 7.8 rebounds, and 1.0 steals per game. He also finished 6th in MVP voting. Despite those big numbers, another big number is the $52.6 million player option he picked up to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers for the 2025-26 season. Who wouldn't, right? That is like hitting the lottery. The Lakers and LeBron, from what the media is portraying, is at odds though. Los Angeles wants to move to the future as they have acquired Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks and wants to build around him. LeBron, with some still left in the tank, might see his way out as a mutual parting of ways via trade. With that big of a contract to move, there are limited teams that can make that happen. According to Full Court Pass on social media, only the Los Angeles Clippers and the Miami Heat have the ability to send that much back in expiring contracts. No way the Lakers and Clippers facilitate a trade, so that leaves the Heat. There are still plenty of details to hammer out regarding a trade. In fact, at the end of the day, I think there is a bunch of fake smoke that will eventually lead to nothing. LeBron isn't saying anything per usual, and the Lakers would be crazy to get rid of that production to go alongside Luka and DeAndre Ayton. But if the NBA gods do strike down and send LeBron to Miami, what better brain to pick than a player who has played every position on the court at a high level, including point guard? LeBron's court vision and feel for the game are second to none. He can help Jakucionis anticipate the next moves and how to put himself in the right positions to make the best play. Jakucionis is someone who seems like a learner too. He would be a sponge to one of the greatest, and some say the greatest players of all time. Eric Spolstra made headlines when he singled out Kelly Ware's professionalism as an issue following the 21-year-old's summer league struggles. Though the head coach's intentions are seemingly pure, this is the type of call-out that can begin eroding the relationship between the Miami Heat and the player they deem too valuable to trade for Kevin Durant. As it turns out though, Ware is taking Spolstra's comments in stride, telling reporters that he's using them as motivation rather than fuel for a grudge. The importance of this response cannot be overstated, not even a little bit. Kellel Ware on Coach Spo calling out his professionalism. I took it as motivation. You know, obviously he's the coach and he has that trust in me and he wants to see me be the best that I can be, so I took it as motivation. Words and intent have a way of getting twisted through headlines and meticulously clipped snippets of longer interviews. Ware could have simply doom-scrolled his way through all the Eric Spolstra calls out Heat cornerstone headlines, harped on the professionalism tidbit, and then retorted in kind, either by sulking, withdrawing, firing a perceived jab of his own, or by doing something else. The professionalism inconsistency has to improve, and it is. Our standards are not going to change. Our expectations of how fast we want that to improve for him are not going to change. But he's got to get better at it. He has to take ownership of it. The other stuff will come along with that. That leads into the weight room. Your professionalism, consistency, and your approach every single day. Singling out parts like has to take ownership do a great job of stoking controversy, but they don't capture the entire context. Spolstra is holding Ware to an exceptionally high standard precisely because he values him, because he believes in him. This may still come across as tough love, but it's a show of affection all the same. Ware has clear issues on the court that his slow start to Summer League exposed. Those concerns have yet to dissipate. But the handling of this situation is proof of his professionalism. Someone less mature might have deflected or displaced blame or forcefully fired back, Ware is taking Spo's sentiments for what they are, an acknowledgement that he can and must get better in all facets of game, both on and off the court. To Ware's credit, Spolstra has showered him with praise for getting stronger since the end of last season. More critically, Ware tallied 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 8 of 14 shooting from the floor, including a 2 of 3 clip from 3-point range, almost immediately on the heels of Coach Spo's assessment. That is a statement all its own. All is not suddenly right in Heatland just because Ware processed criticism and then finally delivered on the court. But this mini ordeal was nothing if not a test of his ability to handle developing as part of Miami's program, and he passed with flying colors. For now, Pat Riley has made some interesting decisions for the Miami Heat over the past few years, and that's tough to ignore. While Riley used to be one of the best in the world at his job, some have suggested that he just isn't the same type of executive that he once was, and it's tough to ignore that. However, there's a possibility that the Heat could get creative during the remainder of the offseason, and Sports Illustrated recently proposed an idea for them to do just that. They proposed a trade idea that would reunite with a former superstar and current Los Angeles Lakers star, LeBron James. They upgrade their roster with James and make a run at another title. While the roster would not be perfect, a top 3 of James Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro is certainly a threat to win the Eastern Conference in a down season. Miami is not losing out on any long-term piece either. Rozier did not play towards the end of the season for them. Jaquez had a really down second season, and Wiggins is on an expiring contract and not likely to be a long-term player in Miami. Losing the pick could hurt, but this puts the Heat in a position to contend in the Eastern Conference, SI wrote. Trading for James would be intriguing for the simple fact that he's one of the greatest to ever lace them up in Miami Heat history. While what he's done with the Los Angeles Lakers has also been impressive, what James did with the Heat was even crazier back in the day. Many Heat fans believe that Dwayne Wade is the greatest ever to lace them up in Heat history, and that's tough to ignore. But it's also unfair to suggest that James hasn't done similar things. The question would remain on whether the Miami Heat would be a contender with James on the roster. The all-time great is set to be at 41 years old during December of next season. But while the Eastern Conference is a bit down due to some injuries, some believe the Heat would have a chance if they made this deal, including Sports Illustrated. Wiggins would fit nicely alongside Doncic and Reeves and could even be brought back if things go well this season. Highsmith is a really good defender and might be the top perimeter defender on the Lakers instantly. Perhaps JJ Redick can get Jaquez back to the level he was playing at during his rookie season and get something out of Rozier as well as he enters the last year of his deal. The 2029 pick could be very valuable, they wrote. Miami always finds a way to compete, but last year wasn't what it was looking for. The Heat will have another opportunity to figure things out, and James could help with that. However, it's also important to note that unless the Heat are willing to go all in for another year or two, this could further complicate things.